Yes, I do, but I can't hear it right now. Somehow you're dancing to it.
You're going to put it in.
Yes.
So, welcome.
The Artful Stitch, episode 14.
With
Scooby-Doo.
and Hampton, too.
We got a little spiel down.
Of course we do. We have a lot to talk about today. We'll see how long it takes us to get through, but we will start off by just saying that we're getting a little late start again this week.
Just
we're
a couple days.
filming on Saturday instead of Wednesday like we planned.
Yeah, a few days.
It's been another one of those weeks in the great USA
Yeah.
of disgrace and sadness.
The hopefully someday great US of A.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, I really don't want to be political, but I also feel weird not saying anything, as if we're just here buying yarn, having fun all the time. And to me, this is an escape, and I want to get right to the knitting goodies.
Right.
But I also don't want to ignore what's happening. And
No, I mean, it's not like we just go about our normal lives and eat at Olive Garden and go to Holiday Inn and just pretend like nothing's happening.
Olive Garden.
You know what I mean.
Do we have a coupon?
No.
A gift certificate?
No.
Okay, so you know what? I think probably everyone already knows how we feel.
Of course. So we're going to get on. Today we're going to talk about field trips and our finished objects, and then our whips, and then we will have acquisitions, which we all know what that's called now. And that's it. We'll cover a couple of comments, and we'll close out, and that'll be our episode today. So let's see how it all goes.
Yeah, see if it's around an hour. I'm back to trying to get things into an hour.
Right. So last weekend we took some field trips, some yarn shops, local yarn shops y'all have seen before. They're one of them's about 30 miles away and one's about 45 miles away. They're local. And then another one, we don't have another one on here that's like 10 miles away, but yeah. We had a good time. It was a nice, beautiful winter day in North Texas. It was nice and sunny and warmish for winter.
Oh, and look, there was that
gas station
gas
sign.
station. That sign was not flashing in real life.
No, it wasn't.
I guess the camera takes it with the right frames per second to capture some flickering effect.
We need to get us one of those
freaking
cameras
me out.
like they're doing those movies now where they're doing, was it 60 frames per second?
Oh, right.
Something like that.
One of those things that almost looks fake because it looks like a video game. It's so hyper.
But this isn't a fake show. We're real. We're real people.
Oh, here we are entering historic McKinney.
Downtown
McKinney. It looks like we're in a procession here, but we're on the wrong side of the road.
Traffic in the city.
And see, some of the Christmas decorations are still up, like you were saying.
Yeah,
Historic downtown McKinney sign.
It was
It was still within the 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah, it was the 9th and 10th day of Christmas. It was the 9th day of Christmas, I think.
And this shopping center was totally full.
Oh, yeah. All the parking lots all around were full. We were driving around for a while looking for a parking spot.
I really want to get vaccinated. It makes me nervous going out more these days, because there used to be fewer people out, but even though we're at a higher number cases and deaths, we are getting more lax.
Well, a lot of our friends are starting to get vaccinated. The ones of a certain age and the ones with really chronic health issues and being treated at UT Southwest and Methodist Harris Health Systems. And so it'll be getting around to us too.
Yeah.
We will. We'll be getting it, but a lot of people are starting to get it, and that's good. Until then, we keep wearing our masks and avoiding crowds and crowded indoor spaces, and we're not going in people's homes.
Oh, yeah, we had to park behind the building this time, so now we're coming out around.
Right. And then walking. Just.
It was cute with the swags and the lights across the street.
Yeah. I guess they kept it up until Epiphany, probably, which was coming up on Tuesday.
Oh, right.
And then we entered into McKinney Knittery.
And she used to have fancy fibers. Was that?
No.
Oh, no, that's Yarning You.
And we go there next.
Yeah, this. I'm getting mixed up. But
as always, lots of beautiful yarns. A lot of selections of Texas yarns too, and locally dyed yarns. But then they've got a huge selection of Barocco, just like most of the
Malabrigo here,
big box stores, and even the local yarn shops have.
Yeah, I wasn't looking for anything specific besides I wanted a DK.
Right. We were looking for some DK.
Yeah. I have been buying so much sock yarn lately, fingering weight.
Yeah.
I guess I just equate sock yarn with fingering, but it's actually sport weight yarn could be sock yarn, and DK could be sock yarn. But I think when it says sock on it, I've been assuming that means fingering weight.
But I noticed that Steve and Wes just in the past today and maybe the past couple days have posted some new shawl patterns using mainly fingering weight yarns.
That's what he does a lot. That's what. Well, I don't want to talk about the.
We'll get there. We'll get there with what you've done.
I have been using a lot of fingering weight. And again with the gray and the yellow.
Well, it is the Pantone. Was that how you say it?
I think it's Pantone.
Pantone colors for 2021.
Yeah.
That kind of golden rod yellow and a gray.
Yeah, I love it.
Like the shawl I'm wearing now that you knit for me. That we'll be talking about in a little bit.
Is this repeating, or have we already been here? I mean, yeah, I love that color. That's the Boticelli Red.
That sweater's nice.
Yeah, I like the patterns. It makes me think of Yama fibers. I've been seeing Yama on Instagram a lot, and they always have like stalks of wheat and really earthy, like that, colored yarns. Sometime I'm going to have to do something with chunky yarn.
Yeah.
For a really fast project. I was talking about that at one of these yarn stores, that I started off with like DK weight yarn for my first projects. And for years, I just stayed within that narrow mid-range, and then I went down to fingering weight. I've never gone up to chunky. And
I'd like some throw blankets for the living room, for the sofa, especially for the wintertime. And some chunky weight would be nice, and do some cables here and there, some purling, and even some lace work or slip stitch, whatever you call it, to have some holes in it here and there.
Well, yeah, lace work like that has holes in it.
Yeah, like
you
that.
do yarn overs, and then usually you would do decreases. You create an extra stitch, and then you decrease, and the way you line them up, it creates patterns. Now, I liked this yarn. What is this called? I can't quite read it. Woolberry? Yeah, Woolberry. Woolberry Fiber Company.
Is it out of Colorado or?
Berry cashmere, 80% Southwest merino, 10 cashmere, 10 nylon. Out of where?
It's not Texas, I don't think. I think it was out of state,
Ah.
Colorado or Wyoming, or maybe it just said
Well,
USA. I can't remember
I
now.
kind of intentionally go in looking for Texas indie dyers lately.
Sure, sure.
I thought maybe this was one of them. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
I can't use my phone right now because we're watching
okay.
this video. Oh wait, did we just watch this? We did.
Yes.
Oh, and I like the. You notice these are big, like spools. I
Oh,
don't know
yeah,
they
those
have cables.
cables.
Yeah, they're just big spool. Those rough wood, maybe that would hold cabling
Yeah.
and
Like power line cabling.
then
or something.
curtains around the sides of them.
Mm-hmm. Or just a pleated skirt.
I've always really liked McKinney Knittery's displays. Those
Yeah.
porcelain bowls and the wood furniture and then we noticed
Kind of antique wooden chest things.
Yeah, and then if you look
like that one.
on some of the walls, yeah, that's a cool one. If you look on some of the walls, they're just pallets with big old nails sticking out to hang the yarn on.
Yeah, but like a 20 or 22 weight nail.
It has a 22 on the end.
Yeah,
of it,
22. Yeah.
100% organic linen. I like those.
Yeah, I like those too. It'd be a nice sweater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be nice to just do a whole fade set with those. And another round table with porcelain and simple cable hat pattern. Hazel Creek. I've been using color so much I used to do so much with cables and baubles and whole yarn overs, and lately it's just been
yeah, when you were
color
doing those squares.
Yeah, the Afghan.
The Afghans.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, that in itself could still be put together for a...
Oh yeah, I've got so many partly done projects. I want to put together the Arne Carlos patches that I had already had before. I love that green. Yeah, I love these colors. I don't know what kind of stitch that is. I can't quite tell, and I need to hold still. I keep moving the video. Nurtured by Andrea Mowry, Magpie Nest yarn.
It's also a beautiful, simple sweater, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, I like that texture.
Oh yeah, you can kind of see the pallets here, and oh no, those are on wooden pegs. They're not on those big nails. But
okay, they're still on pallets. I think it just wouldn't focus. Come on! Wow! Oh, hold still. Okay, I didn't have time to read it.
maybe you can edit it to freeze it.
Blanket Fort.
Blanket Fort. Being a kid again.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know these can't be indie dyers. Tallow. Yeah, most of this I'll be cutting our sound out. I guess that was a marled hat. I don't know, where you put two yarns together and...
Oh, well, it does say there, doesn't it?
Well, it said it's made with fleet and thaw.
Ah.
But I'm assuming that is not like color work, but they're just holding two strands together. Lace weight, so that's thin. Yeah, those are definitely peg zone. Palette. Brooklyn Tweed. I think that's the brand. And Peary is probably the yarn, or the base. And then Henge is the color. I love that row ending in pink there, with those mustards and orange and pink. Ah, now we're heading out. Yeah, it's a nice simple display down there.
Yeah, it's a cute little town square.
And then
so then we drove on through the next 20 plus miles east from McKinney to Farmersville to get to Yarn and You and Fancy Fibers.
Right. Which used to be in Yarn and You, and now they are in their own spot next door.
Yeah. She's leasing the spot that Mr. and Mrs. Yarn and You own next door also. Mm-hmm. They've just gotten it remodeled and habitable again.
And Farmersville was busy too. It was a really pretty day, wasn't it? Warm or so?
Yeah, it was in the 50s.
Kind of
I think
spring-like.
It was. Yeah, we were in short sleeves. When we had the video of me walking into McKinney Knittery, I had on that heavy flannel shirt as a jacket, but I'd taken it off by the time we got to Farmersville because I was too warm with it on.
Yeah,
and a short sleeve shirt was sufficient, I thought.
Yeah, so there you can see Yarning You, and Fancy Fibers is in
the building right to the left,
in between the columns.
It looks a little Alamo-ish.
Yeah, Alamo-ish.
Right. So now Stacy, had to rearrange everything in the store now that Mary has moved her Fancy Fibers operations next door. So right now she was afraid it was a little spare looking. I thought it looked filled, but I have a feeling she will keep tweaking it. I mean, even as we walked in, the community knitting table had moved from
one
the
side
right side as you walk in
we're
to
about
the
to
left
pan
side.
Past
yeah,
it.
there they are.
And I didn't want to film anyone directly.
Yeah, and I don't think we can see anybody's faces in that.
But yeah, she was talking about creating a fingering weight. Oh, and this is Madeline Tosh.
Yes.
And I didn't realize it's a Texas dyer.
Oh.
And I think they use South African wool.
Ah.
It says
I've been seeing most everybody lots of people on Instagram with they had the advent calendar that was the triangle.
Yeah, the Mad Tosh, right?
Cardboard triangle box. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good, clever box solution by having those, now I'm blanking out on words, but Mandelbrot set, like ferns. Anyway, the triangle within bigger triangles within bigger triangles. Ooh, that was a good box. I'll think of the right word and put it on there. But yeah, I love these colorways.
Yeah.
Spectrum.
That one, I don't know what size that was, but it would make some pretty socks or
Yeah.
a hat or something like that.
I like those socks there too.
You know, Stacy's always going to have some socks laying around for sure.
Oh yeah.
She knits up some socks.
Yeah. She has a tub behind the counter of her hundreds of pairs of socks that she's
I think
done.
she has several tubs of hundreds more.
I don't think she probably ever wears them.
But she likes to knit them.
I like that name, pomegranate seeds. Yeah, I'm kind of that way, whereas I like to knit them more than I wear them. I've got my flip-flops on so much. Oh, and Chicken Coop. I've bought their yarn, too.
Yeah.
And I like that top one on the left with that kind of turquoise.
Right
oh,
there
good, I'm picking it up.
Where you're picking it up.
Yeah. Shiplap rustica. Foghorn. Now we're heading
to Fancy Fibers.
Fancy Fibers.
Right next door.
And she does, one of these times, and I've probably said this before, I'm going to interview, I think her name is Mary here,
Yes.
and Stacy at Yarn and Hue, because they're both such good advocates for their business and what they're
Right.
what
And
they're
Mary
displaying.
teaches also, she teaches everything that's not.
That's her teaching room, right?
Yeah, right there.
Uh-huh.
And she teaches everything that's not knit or crochet, basically. She does weaving and latch hook and
Yeah.
actually making because she actually raises animals and then dyes the wool or shears
Yeah,
the
she shears the sheep, she dyes
rabbits.
the wool,
I think she's just down to rabbits now, she said. She kind of...
Yeah, but a lot of the yarn that is in bags there on the wall, I don't know if I'm about to show it, but
Right.
is from her sheep.
Right.
And, yeah, her and her husband.
And so
used to
she's
have
got all these
a
pieces of
business.
equipment for all the different things you can do to make.
Yeah, and so a lot of this I'm not familiar with.
Right.
I mean, I know that you draw the raw fibers through there to help. I don't know. Maybe you're just straightening them before you start pulling them when you're spinning, and
Right. Something like that.
I don't know. And shuttles. Yeah, and I thought these fabrics are really pretty. I don't know. We talked about this.
We don't know what they're for, but
Yeah.
they're pretty. If anybody knows why they're...
Rug hook fabric.
Oh, she uses these and she cuts them up, or you can cut them up and then make latch hook rugs.
Oh, yeah.
That she has explained that.
Yeah,
to
she
me.
was working on a commission. This entryway carpet that was really bright and
very mod.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here's her yarn. Or not yarn, but here's her wool. Her sheep.
Uh-huh.
Shave 'em, save 'em. So I would assume that people that do felting would buy the yarn in that state.
Right. And there's dyes there. I mean, I know what dyes are.
And like we've got that artist that we know you used to work at Row 2 Gallery and introduced us to Mark Burt.
Yeah.
And he's been watching our episodes lately, so
yep.
Hey, Mark.
And he uses felt to create, or felted wool to create whimsical, fantastical creatures that are art. Not, I wouldn't really call them dolls or stuffed animals. They're really art.
They're sculptures.
They're sculptures.
They're kind of toy inspired, sci-fi inspired. I don't know, but then he'll incorporate them with videos, or at least photographs. Maybe he's done videos, but anyway, got off track a little bit. I wish I would have panned up a little bit. I think that's one of her latch hooks.
Yeah, there were a number of them hanging on the wall too. And then she's got full library of books on all the different things to do with the
good
making
library.
Yeah.
And then I am tempted to get a yarn rolling ball roller, automatic ball roller.
Right.
I don't know what you call it. But the next time I've got some extra money,
these people will hook you up.
Next time I have some money burning a hole in my pocket, because I spend so many hours winding balls of yarn. Oh, and now we're on our way back.
Yeah, so we're making it back home, and so
what bridge is this?
Corinth, going across the Trinity River from the southwest side of the Trinity River, going over to the side that we live on, the southeast side of downtown.
Oh yeah, now we're getting close. Longhorn Ballroom.
Yeah, that's just a few blocks away. All right, and so now our next segment is finished objects.
That's right. So I don't know how many people saw the previous episode, but I'd already knit one honey striped hat by Stephen West that it looks like one of the elements from his mystery knit along. And if you're doing the Hiberknitalong, it came free. So I knit it, and then I realized that I was using 3 yarns from U2 Yarn, and then I realized, well, I can just swap out the colors. The first time I did it with this green, which makes me think of copper, patinaed copper. And then I've got a brown stripe and a gray stripe in the middle here. And so then I switched it up. And the second time, I used more of a gray for the main color and the green and the brown as the stripes. But I actually changed it a little bit because I wanted these stripes to look continuous. Meaning, like if you look at one of these cells, it starts here with green and ends with green. There's 5 stripes. And every cell does the same thing. But that green, because the fabric pulls in on itself, the green from like the top of this one and the green from the bottom of the next ones line up. And so you actually get continuous stripes. Whereas the pattern, which looks great, but the pattern makes you alternate, and which makes the stripes not quite in line when they cross under.
So you adjusted it? Is that what you're saying?
I adjusted it.
There you go.
I can't do things more than once and then not try to refine something.
And you plan on doing this pattern
or
like
change it
2 more times, right?
Yeah, because I've got the yarn that
do another one in these same
octopus.
Colorways.
Yeah, except now it's really tight. It doesn't look like I have enough. I've got enough brown to do the third main color, but the skeins of the other 2 colors that do the stripes, those are so small. I don't know if I have enough.
And then you're going to do me one with the yellow, blue, and orange, I think.
Well, the yellow and then the blues and black. It's a few blues.
Okay.
Yeah. I might have to add, because it doesn't look like those small skeins that came with it would be enough to do the stripes. But I will. When I do it the next time, I'm gonna try to weigh and see how much of one I use versus the other, because I don't want to do all the work and then find out that it's not gonna be enough.
Okay. So the next finished object is one of mine.
Yes.
And I have a tendency to make objects and then give them away immediately. So we are taking videos before we let these things exit the house, so we can present them on our episode. So
let's hear from you.
Here I made a bag for Nancy.
Well, we're not going to talk over it. We're going to let you do the talking here, right?
Right. So here it is.
Here we
Watch
go.
this.
And you're on.
So this is one of my finished objects. This is a bag I made for Nancy for Christmas, and today is the 11th day of Christmas. I finished it this weekend, but now we're going to go just drop it off at her house this evening, maybe say hi from the front yard. I used this Fassett fabric that I had gotten at the Let's Quilt It, and then this Day of the Dead fabric sugar skulls that I'd gotten at Joann's back at Halloween, but Nancy likes this kind of stuff all year long, and I think these are her colors, very mod, very cool, because she's a cool, hip kind of woman. And so I have some little treats in here for her. We have some little things for her for Christmas, New Year's, kind of wrapping it up, moving on into 2021. So,
yeah, I like that Fassett fabric.
Yeah, I really do. It's very vibrant, and Nancy's a very mod kind of woman, so I think she seemed to really like it when I gave it to her. And then I used some more of that sugar skull fabric for the liner and then the handle. And she's also the kind of person that would like those all year long, not just a Halloween, Dia de la Muertes kind of thing. So I think she can be able to use that. I made a big kind of oversized bag that she can use to carry groceries or anything else she wants to in.
Yeah, you're really getting a lot of use out of that pattern.
Yeah, I am, and I'm just getting it down, and I'm enjoying doing it, and it's really helping me relearning to sew after 30 years, and learning to use that Husqvarna Viking sewing machine, because it'll do so much. But
we still haven't even gotten into the embroidery.
No, or the quilting, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
All right. So now the bag, a bag I made for you, and I also made it oversized so that you can put some of these other project bags that I bought you for Christmas and your Ziploc bags of yarn. And as we go out shopping, you could also add your bags from a prescription. So I lined it with some,
dicks.
You've got these pickup salesmen on the bag, which I really wanted to line up so I could see the pickups, because I love old red pickups. And so, then the inside is a bit adult and fun, and it's mint on the outside,
And
it's
you
mint on the inside.
Found a use for some socks.
I bought some socks that I knew weren't going to fit us. I bought them just for putting inside of bags as a pocket. I lined it.
I think that'll be good for some knitting needles.
Knitting needles, pencils, things like that. A ruler.
Then I have some fuck off pouch pocket because
I made pockets on the inside.
Who doesn't need
pockets.
that?
Yes.
Various sizes. So very functional. But you're thinking, because I always carry around, I've been carrying around the last couple works in progress.
Right.
Which I'll show here in a minute. That's why I'm stumbling with what I'm going to say.
Right.
But I always carry around multiple things. And then then we're buying yarn. And then I might have a couple skeins. Like for a while I was the Trinity Yarns Advent. I was bringing those mini skeins with me and start winding them in the car. And so I'm multitasking with yarn stuff everywhere I go.
And so then he's always carrying this big bundle of loose, varying objects. But
so I love
you've been doing that. I don't know if you'll actually use that or not, because you've been doing that since you were a kid. We have pictures of you as a little boy carrying things around wherever you went.
Yeah.
Trucks, rocket ships.
Rachel Raying it.
Rachel Raying
grabbing
it.
everything at once and using every finger to hold on to things.
Yes.
That's what I do.
Okay, and so our last finished object is something we did show, or you showed, on the last episode, and here it is.
The Rockefeller shawl.
The Rockefeller shawl.
And I love it because it is DK.
It
went
it's very
faster.
soft.
It felt faster after fingering weight yarn. It was nice to have a break and do this DK. And I love how it feels.
It is, yeah. I'm kind of waiting for it to get a little chillier so I can actually wear it somewhere. But it's supposed to get cold starting this afternoon and into the night. We might even have snow tomorrow. Wet, slushy snow. So,
yeah.
but mainly that'll be to the northwest, west, south, and southeast of us. So hopefully it'll pass us because I don't like snow. That's why I live in Texas.
Yeah.
No snow.
This is not a musical.
I want it to be a musical.
We watched Holiday Inn for the first time.
And the other night we watched Prom, or The Prom. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So we've seen musicals lately, but
I love musicals.
I will not be participating in a musical. Wait, I can play piano.
There you go. You could play the piano and I could sing.
No one wants to hear me singing.
And I could dance, but you need to get all the Christmas trees out of the way, obviously, and everything else. So, let's move on to the works in progress.
And I really only have one, because I've been totally obsessed with it.
Yes, you have been.
And
you're almost done.
Okay, so it is my Hiberknitalong, and I'm doing the Woven Chevrons. So I don't know if
I bet you'll do the other one too. You're so.
I might.
Of course, you have a number of shawls you've already queued up and bought the yarn for.
That's the thing.
I love those colors.
I do too. It's similar enough to the Mystery Knit-Along that's why I wanted to choose this. Even though this is one of the elements from the Mystery Knit-Along, the chevrons are directly from it. It's changed so much because it's I don't know how close I can get and have it still show up.
And the other Hiberknitalong option seemed to be quite a bit more like the Mystery Knit-Along shawl.
That's what I meant. Yeah. And this I have been getting used to, because a lot of projects I've been doing lately have had slip stitches, and like this, these are done, these longer stripes here are slip stitches, And the hats I've been doing are slip stitches, and these are slip stitches where you get the kind of, oh, I'm not going to be able to do this, but they're slip stitches that create these darker green alternating woven looking parts, and figuring out how much to slip, how much carry, the carries, the tie, the floats. And I finally realized that by pulling the stitches, stretching the stitches as I was knitting that first carryover stitch that gave me the length, stretching at, I need all that length because that makes for a nice stretchy fabric. And the slip stitches have room to show the full pattern without getting tightened up as they carry over. Anyway, I don't think I'm making much sense. Basically, slip stitches, I learned that I really need to stretch the stitches and make sure I have that full length in there, and not and maintain that ladder in effect, because there's 6 rows here that you would do as you're carrying those slip stitches, and there's a tendency for those ladders to get smaller and smaller. But if you maintain them, then the stitches on each side, which are kind of loose, they stay in place. Because when you start decreasing that ladder, the stitches below, the long lengths of yarn want to get looser. It maintains the tension a lot better when all of them are slipped parallel vertically. Anyway, I've been learning about slip stitches. Every one of Stephen West's patterns kind of seems like a little class, like I'm studying a certain topic, and that's partly why I'm so into them, because I'm learning a lot.
Yeah.
But then this is using the Fru Valborg yarn, and I'm close to the end.
Yeah, you are. You're getting there.
I'm almost to the last.
And
long
you just
row.
started that like 2 weeks ago, maybe?
Yeah, right after Christmas. It took
Right
me a
after
couple
Christmas,
days
right.
because I was finishing up a hat before I could free up the
Right.
needle I was going to use, and then since I don't have a ball winder, I was winding these. So
it's now moving on to our next segment.
yarn
y'all.
So
Yarn and
yarn,
other
y'all,
acquisitions.
also means acquisitions.
It does.
And this is my acquisition because Hampton got it for me.
My
at
acquisition
Christmas.
is a Christmas present for you.
And it's from
Papa Bear bags.
Papa Bear bags. It took us a little bit to figure out. I think it's Minneapolis, MPLS.
Yeah.
But here's his logo. That little tag on there.
And it has a vinyl panel in the front.
I like this a lot.
A zipper.
Just really functional. A good size for this shawl.
Yeah.
I've had 4 skeins of yarn in here. And I do really like having the vinyl window on it. Although it's not necessary. For a while, I've kind of wanted a vinyl pocket so that I could put a pattern in there. Like I could print out a pattern and I could stick it under the vinyl pocket.
Yeah. And I'm going to get there. I'm going to work on a bag that'll make that work for you.
Yeah.
And you did buy me some patterns for Christmas for some more
different
more
types
involved
of
bags than what I've been making, but I'm almost getting to where I'll be ready to tackle that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, and I was hoping that you might just find elements like how to handle the zipper differently, or different kinds of pockets, or.
Well, that's even one of the reasons I bought this, was because just being able to look to see how someone else boxed the bottom.
And you have this exact fabric.
I do, except, well, it's not quite, it's a different colorway, because mine is more greens and blues, whereas this is more browns and grays. But it's the same pattern with
It's the same guys.
The
These
same
two
guys camping.
are everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's camp. It starts with an M. I don't know if it's Camp Men.
It probably is.
Or Camp Mai Tai. But I love it.
I'm glad you do.
Okay.
So thank you, Papa Bear Bags. He
Yes.
was something good for Christmas for Rusty.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying that. And then Naughty Knitting Sacks.
And you got you a naughty knitting sack. I wanted one by the professional naughty bag lady.
And look, it's just a simple, very tasteful.
It's a nut bag. This
Nuts.
is one of her nut
It's
bags.
a fall harvest kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maples. I love those helicopter things. And what's this? My old. Then of course it's Naughty Knitting Sacks, and we have
The Rainbow Dicks.
Rainbow Dicks.
That sounds like it could be used as a title of a song for a musical.
Little pocket. Naughty Knitting Sacks. I love it. This looks like it's a good size for a hat.
Or socks, because
Hat or
you've been
socks.
carrying it around and using it for...
Right. This is what's left of the hat. The honey striped
Right.
hat.
That's what you were using it for, the hat, because you just made that other one.
And so I have all this brown. I know that's plenty of brown. But then the stripes, these are the two that I've used for the
other
main
two
colors
hat.
on the other
Yeah.
two hats. There's hardly anything here.
Right.
I
You could make a pom-pom with those, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm tempted to try because I really learned a lot. Just switching the colors around, the same colors, really made them stand out in different ways. It is interesting. So anyway, yeah, this is a good size for a hat. I had 3 skeins of yarn in here.
Hat and socks, and you'll be doing more of those, too.
Yeah. So
for that visit we took to McKinney Knittery, you came back with
I lost track. I don't know.
a couple of skeins of
Oh.
yarn.
Yeah, okay, so everything has to come in and out of these plastic bags. I'm still not trusting the place with moths, so everything gets
Sealed
secured
up, which is
and sealed
probably
up.
best.
So in that video, I was looking at Boticelli Red, and I could not resist. Now, it looks a little bit more orange.
A little. It looks pretty close,
It
though.
is pretty orange. It's just it's like dark rust color.
It's a little darker, yeah.
And
in
it says
person.
sock, so I'm assuming it's fingering. It is fingering.
Yeah.
100% superwash merino. So maybe I'll want to do get a different yarn that has some nylon in it for the toe and heel.
And make
but-
some socks.
Yeah. I want to do those cozy autumn socks again.
Yeah, I'd like a pair of those.
Uh-huh. This would be a good color.
Yep.
And so that's Malabrigo. And then I got Chasing Rabbits Fiber Company.
Which is a Texas dyer, right? Texas independent
It
dyer.
is, yeah. It's Merino Luxe DK, and I think the name is Port. 4-ply DK, 100% superwash, deluxe merino wool. Yeah, it's. I need to look them up to find out where they are, because it'd be fun to go buy some of these.
Yeah, we're going to be doing
dyers
that.
where it happens, where they do it.
As the vaccine gets a lot more under control, I mean, as the virus gets a lot more under control, hopefully with widespread vaccine delivery and people wearing masks and just getting it out of our systems around the world, then we're going to be moving on and going to visit some of these indie dyers and if they'll have us, There's one I really want to see in Central Texas where was it Blue Mule? I think we've got some of that, or we've looked at it, and they have a winery and they have a yarn dyeing operation. So it'd be fun to go look at. And it's a very picturesque part of Texas where the hill country is sort of playing out into the coastal plains, and Colorado River goes through there. It's a pretty place. Yes.
I
Oh,
like
darn, more yarn.
Their bags, they all say something funny.
That's
on
our
them.
life, isn't it? It's yarn, y'all.
Yarn, y'all. It has been. This lockdown, yarn has saved me. My sanity.
And it's kept your hands busy so they couldn't be strangling me.
I never get that way.
Of course not. But I can probably push you to that someday.
Another year of lockdown. What?
What?
What do you mean people named Hampton can't get the vaccine?
Doctor, could you please put Hampton on something stronger?
Yeah.
He really needs to be sedated.
Then, yarning you.
Yarning you.
Meanwhile.
Yes, meanwhile. Quarantine while.
So, all the the Madeline Tosh
Yes.
that I was looking at, I did get some of that because I think it's so gorgeous, these colors. This kind of makes me think of Starry Night or Lagoon, but what is it? It's
Starry Night, you mean the Van Gogh painting?
Van Gogh, yeah.
But she needs a splash of yellow
one
in
of
there.
a kind, Mad
Splash
Tosh.
some yellow in, and yes. Splash.
Oh, I can't see with my glasses sometimes. 100% superwash merino, fingering weight. So that blue and the green is so beautiful. And then this one, it makes me think of irises, kind of the lavenders and blues and greens and all of the yellow and.
Oh yeah, we have
God.
iris blooming right now.
Oh yeah.
We have a variety of iris that blooms once in every season, and it's just amazing to see iris come up in the heat of summer and the relative cold in winter and spring and fall. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
We always have some iris.
I
4
bet I'll
times a
just
year.
put some pictures in here so that we can see.
Yeah.
We were gonna have some cut flowers here, but I lost track of that.
That's okay. I had thinned them out earlier this year, and I really didn't expect them to start blooming since I had just replanted them in September, and they've already started blooming again.
Yeah, and you planted them when it was really hot, like in the hundreds.
Yeah.
So I was thinking it's risky, but they did well, and they're fall blooming. They're autumn trysts, so they bloom in the fall anyway. But these tend to bloom 2 or maybe 3 times a year. So it's kind of spread out.
I've done 4 times.
Yeah,
I think they just missed the fall because they weren't quite ready after being replanted, but they started blooming right at Christmas time. Bless their heart.
So I got these 2 fingering, and then I got another DK called Wilted, and they're all 100% superwash merino. But I've been seeing this Mad Tosh for months now, and didn't realize it was a Texas dyer. Not like everything has to be Texas. It is. It's a wool ethically sourced in South Africa.
Right.
Dyed by hand in Texas.
We like to support small business all the way through. We're not just in Texas, but, it's local, so, and regional.
I'm hoping
so
everyone is supporting their local.
Right, but we've supported some others across the nation, like Trilogy Yarns in the Spokane area. And
Spokane. It's Spokane.
I'm sorry.
It's near the Willamette Valley.
Like pecan. Like pecan. Not like a pecan. That's where you get Le Sueur peas from. Anyway. Okay, let's moving on. So then...
Well, I think you've had too much tea or something.
think I probably have, because that's all I'm having is tea. But I did a blend. It's a black tea with some orange and cranberry, and I added some non-caffeine lemon grass and some ginger, and it's really tasty. It's really, really tasty. Okay, so then your last bag of yarn y'all.
So I had talked about
The Stephen West
Qing Fiber that I was getting. One of the kits I'd ordered was Suriously Holey. Suriously with the U, not
Suriously, like
right. That's why I'm saying it funny because
like
it
a
is
Surrey
funny.
with the fringe on top.
Okay.
Oklahoma.
Oh, is part of the yarn called Surrey? Oh, it is melted Surrey. I see. I thought it was a play on Seriously, and
Well, it is. It's that too.
I'm slow.
It's
So
punny.
I got these 6 skeins, and it's Qing with a Q, Qing Fiber. Thank you. Someone told me.
It was Pam Krantz.
Pam, thank you, Pam.
Thank you.
I do like saying it correctly.
Yes.
But oh my god, I cannot wait to start putting these together. It's a brioche pattern, and I've been wanting to try brioche for quite a while. And this looks like lace weight. It's so fine.
It is. It's very dark. Is that blue or is it
Where's
black
the
or?
labels? Oh. It's blue. It's really dark blue.
It's very, very dark blue.
Okinami. And this is yak. 65% superwash merino, 20% silk, 15% yak. That's why it's so, I don't know. Yak seems to have some of the brown that still shows through, some of the earthiness, and kind of unites the colors when it's on the same yak base. And this is called Melted Surrey.
Now what is that? That looks like a mohair.
Yeah,
Very fuzzy, or is it cashmere? But those colors are fabulous.
Yeah, the pale blues.
Yeah, all turquoisey, and then that gray.
This one says 65% baby Surrey alpaca, 25% superwash merino, 10% silk. So these both have silk. This is called Sea Breeze. And Melted Surrey. Oh wait, this goes on this. And so I'm anxious to. I have way too many things that I want to be working on, but I'm about to start up on my art show for Chris Worley Fine Arts,
the gallery here in Dallas.
And I have ideas, of course, with the yarn. So I am planning. If I haven't said this before, I am planning some of these shawls I'm knitting, and probably it'll be other garments too. But I want to let those be jumping off points for pieces of art, whether through stitches or yarn or design elements. I want my art to be more informed by real knit work.
Right.
So anyway, I'm getting off track. I'm excited about that. I cannot wait. One of 25 things I have that I'm excited about. And so round table yarns. And I used her yarn in Thistle Preserve. I'm going to put it up there again.
The collector who had just bought it just came by right before we started filming to pick it up.
Right, we were waiting for her to arrive.
They happened to be in Dallas, even though they bought it from the gallery in Santa Fe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I still haven't had anyone in my studio, so we met out front, and I had it all packed up. We both had our masks on, and did a handoff, and I can't wait for things to get back to normal. But in the meantime, life goes on.
Right.
For most of us. Oh my God, I can't believe I said that, but because life isn't going on for some of us. But
no.
My dad did pass away.
Yeah, yes, he did.
And he did test positive at the end. I can't say that that's what what got him.
Because he had really just almost quit eating. I mean,
He was depressed. He was in a care facility, depressed from not being able to connect with people and
which is, it's really telling when a person who really, really did try to live pretty much of a reclusive, hermit-like life still thrived on some interaction with people. And when that was taken away...
He was 87. He just had a girlfriend. He was
at
having
the home.
He was having a very hard time with memory, and they were working on medications. But there were some positive cases that started going through the facility, so they all went into lockdown within their rooms.
Right.
And they would just see the same caregivers coming through. And my dad had kind of developed a girlfriend there, and they were trying to arrange for them to start seeing each other for an hour a day or something. But then my dad fell and found out that he had they didn't take him to the hospital because even that would have been traumatic and risky. Yeah. So they found a way to do some things in his room, and they wondered if he had bone cancer.
Yeah.
And so anyway, me and my dad had not been close, and I never really understood it, but I kind of had to say goodbye a number of years ago, so I'm not that... I was a little more emotional about Audrey, which is...
Yeah, but Ed wasn't even close with his grandsons, your nephews. They lived in the same town.
Yeah.
He just wanted to see your sister, and he would wait to go visit her when the kids were in school and stuff. So, he was just like that. He was just a different person.
He was a different person. He was a great father in lots of ways growing up. But he was difficult in lots of ways. Mm-hmm. And so, anyway, I'm a little bit more unemotional than
I'm glad I got to know him. He was always nice to me.
Yeah. So. Yeah, so anyway,
so
that happened.
There won't be a service of any kind for him because that was his wishes. He'll be cremated and scattered in the wind, and
yeah,
that's all he wanted. So how about a toast to Ed? Cheers. So we have a few comments we can
wait.
Okay.
Wait. Okay, so...
Oh, right.
We're not done with the yarn, y'all. I got us off track.
You can edit that out. Yarn, y'all. So Round Table Yarns.
Round Table Yarns.
After 6 years in business, she's closing.
Yeah, so I had done the piece that I sold that just got picked up, Thistle Preserve. I had used Round Table Yarns. And
the striped ones, too? One of the
striped ones, that was Lolo did it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd done one of each. And I still have yarn from both of them, which I intend to keep going. But then we got that email from Karen saying that she was closing and things were going on sale. There's going to be, it's tiered. Towards the end of the month, things will be, 15% off, then 25% off, then... And she has some extra notions and little bags, and that the people that buy early are going to get some of that. And so I ordered some of my favorite colors, and I ordered 4 skeins of yarn, and she sent me 6, and a mini. And I haven't opened this yet, but there's something extra in here.
Oh,
that I'm not.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Little bag. And oh, cool. Round Table Yarns here. I'm going to take it out. So a little pin. I don't know if that's showing up. I think it's blurry.
Yep, it's blurry.
But, cool.
Cool.
So I'm sorry to see anyone go. Hopefully she's going to find her next calling. She's not going anywhere in the yarn world. She's going to be around.
Right. She said in her email that she's been successful, but she started realizing that it just was taking away too much of her life, her time to do when she wanted to do some other things, just with life in general. And
well, didn't she also say something about now that the Fiber Fests aren't happening?
Well, yeah, but she said once the Fiber Fests start back up, she's going to be there. She may even have booths sometime. She just won't be selling her own yarn. But she'll definitely be an attendee.
This is definitely one of my favorites. This Little Ring of Mine.
Yeah.
And this is her Camelot base, 80% merino, 10 cashmere, 10 nylon fingering weight. And it has a slight variegation with gold and a little darker toned gold.
I love it.
I do too, and it feels so good knitting with it. That's why I did some of the artwork using it, and I want to have socks out of it too.
Yeah,
because I still like the idea of making. When I have an art opening, making. Oh, and look at this red agravane. Oh, I never saw it, but on the website, that is so pretty.
It's very deep magenta or purple or.
Yeah, kind of reddish.
Yeah, it is kind of reddish.
Yeah, to me it is. But I still like the idea of having my artwork and maybe socks or a scarf or something have the same yarn, so I coordinate with the artwork during an opening. Of course, we have to get back to openings and all that, but someday it's going to happen.
Someday it's going to happen, right.
So I missed one. And then a mini. I don't know what kind it is. It doesn't have a label, but
it's pretty green.
Yeah. And this came within 2 days. So she still has lots of yarn, and it's going to start being discounted.
Yeah, because this wasn't even on sale. This was just...
This wasn't on sale. I figured she's probably, if she's making a change like this, she might really be needing to clear things out and make room, make money. Who knows? I'm guessing, but I didn't want to wait until it went on sale
and get what's left and things like that.
Yeah.
Hurry up and pick what you do like.
So, once again, I have too much yarn. Okay. No.
Is there such thing as too much yarn?
We'll find out. Okay, so comments. We're gonna let's talk. I don't think we have in the last couple weeks talked about comments, and I've been a little bit slow in responding. So many things have been going on that I lose track of what I've responded to, and they show up on different episodes, and then sometimes on Ravelry a little bit, Instagram a little bit more. Anyway, so I'm sorry I'm missing some of the comments, but that's why I wanted to talk about a few of them.
Sure.
Here. So Lori is a new subscriber, and she's a knitter and quilter also.
Yeah.
We have a number of new subscribers, and I don't know where they're coming from, because to other podcasters out there, unless you're just hitting it and you're getting mentions around and you're in the thousands of subscribers, I think somehow they get subscribers a little easier, I'm guessing. But for us, we slowly are getting them, a few a week. Sometimes we put on an episode and we don't get any new subscribers. But for some reason, we just all of a sudden had 10 new subscribers a couple days ago, and they've been trickling in.
And we're even behind filming a new episode. So.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Thanks for joining us.
But welcome, new subscribers.
Welcome back, old subscribers.
Please comment.
We love you all.
I do see all the comments. I love seeing the comments. I love reading them and then thinking about them, and then I get distracted. And so I'm very sorry about that. I do intend to reply more, but I love getting them. And Valentina says we should have more subscribers.
Right. So,
and I tend to agree with that.
Yeah, of course.
But we're working on it.
We're working on it. We'll probably have some more giveaways coming up soon. I mean, God knows we have enough yarn to distribute to the world. But it seems like when we do have giveaways, what do? We go buy news so we can give it to them.
It's more fun too.
Because you're like, I don't want to part with this.
It's more fun to shop for yarn.
And support our local yarn stores.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Rob DeLine, could see a whole village. Oh, I'm pointing back there because
it's actually up there. Episode, it's way up there.
The Hunter Hammersman little house called Chimney that's still not finished off. But I'm leaving it on our shelf to remind me, so I'll be seeing it every day until I finish it. And he had talked about I should make a whole village. I agree. I mean, that fits my temperament to make really detailed, tight little things. And we might keep going with our gnome. There might be, on our last episode, there were two of us, and I was knitting a little shawl or something as a gnome.
Right.
And next year we might have other activities involved.
Right.
So we'll see.
I'm going to keep sewing them, and I sew, and I also use hot glue, and it's fun. It's crafty, and it's fun. I haven't done crafts in a long time because I've always had you just do it for me. I'm always like, I envision this.
No duct tape.
Could you just do it for me?
Yeah, I have been the craft person in this relationship for 20 years, and now all of a sudden, I think I want to knit.
I used to have skills before we got together, but it started atrophying because I was like, well, could you do this?
Do it.
Could you do this?
Yeah, at work they have like bulletin board decorating contests. And
right, and I'm like, I need my turn to decorate the bulletin board at work.
I make kits for them to take.
Then I show up and I pin things to the board, and people are like, "Oh my God!"
Remember we made that cutout of one of your coworkers and made
We took a little photograph, and then you mounted it on foam core and
made a nice cutout. So there was a cutout of her.
So we had a little 3D of one of the employees, and yeah, it was fun.
But now Hampton started doing things. He started taking over some of the gardening,
and I'm not actually doing bulletin boards at work anymore either. So that's fine.
You're usually the cook.
I'm here. I'm the cook, and so that's why I don't get as much sewing done, because when I finish my 8-hour job, then you and I visit for a little bit, catch up. I look at some social media, and then I get up within about an hour and cook dinner, and then we sit down and eat dinner and watch TV and
crash. We go to bed pretty early.
And then after, you're able to keep knitting while we're visiting and after we finish eating, but the sewing machine's upstairs. I can't just bring it down, and I'm not good at hand stitching. So, okay. So, any other ones?
Well, and then he thinks, Rob DeLine thinks Hunter Hammersman might be a woman.
I see.
And so I wonder if anyone else knows if that's true or not. And then, excuse me, I got a number of comments, and this is one I've lost track of, so I'm sorry. Bert's Cuddle Doobies. Bert's Cuddle Doobies. And he's getting caught up on all the episodes, and he told me about his grandfather, who's a surgeon, and that gave him the love of making, and it's a lot longer story, but it sounds like he's done a lot of crocheting too. So welcome.
Y'all can look through the comments and read his story too, though.
Yeah, and that's what I plan on getting back to some of those comments and replying. But it's really nice hearing from him. And then Naughty Knitting Sacks.
Yep.
Hello.
I love her posts on Instagram. She just cracks me up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I love her bags too. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you like having irreverent, naughty things.
do.
Okay.
I do.
And we hadn't heard from Kitten Wah in a few episodes, and it turns out that Kitten is a Scrooge.
Right. So
And
he shuts down during the end of year holidays, which that is understandable. A lot of people do that.
yeah, it could be. I don't know if it's worse this year or if it's every year. I'm going to assume
Right.
that he's that way all the time, because I grew up with someone that was a Scrooge, and the more me and my mom got excited and put up trees and stuff, he was like, "Oh, it's commercial." Ugh.
It's nice you're telling stories about your dad.
Oh, right. Well, all memories are loving, right?
it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, that's a good memory. I don't mind Scrooges.
Right.
I'm playing.
I know.
So
Our friend James that used to live here before us, he was always somewhat of a Scrooge at Christmas time. But he would do he got to know us. We started hanging out together, and he was kind of funny. He would start decorating because he knew how much we loved decorating. But his idea of decorating was buying a box of lights, leaving them on that plastic thing the lights are wound up on, and you just pull them out of the cardboard box, hang that on the wall, and plug it in. Just crack me up.
Yeah, it makes like a little cheap, clever lamp.
Yeah, it did. It did. It was just funny. And, it was his way of getting into decorating. And he could do some beautiful, beautiful pottery. But decorating for Christmas is not his thing. So, Kitten, we understand. We have plenty of friends like that, so it's fine.
Then a number of people liked the story of you slowly falling into the Christmas tree. Tracy from Curly Seams liked it, and Sue Brooks, that reminded her of a story that she, and look for the comments. Sue Brooks talked about a beer fest with her boyfriend and a bike, and him not rounding the path well, and he stopped at the turn that he had missed into a bush and slowly went down onto some blackberry bushes. And anyway, that sounds pretty.
Life is dangerous
like one of those
when
things
alcohol's involved, Joel.
You wish you had a video.
Careful.
You wish you had some
stick to tea.
Blackmail material or something.
Right.
Oh, and Susanna Warner, I always love hearing from her. And she gave me a link to another Entrelac hat. I think this one is free. That might be something I try again. I did get some yarn specifically that I thought would be good for Entrelac. So I'm kind of set up for another.
Interesting.
And then I heard from, now I didn't make a note of why Sheridan Lomax.
I like that name.
I like that name. That's what I was going to say. I didn't tell you that. Does Sheridan Lomax. What a great name.
Yes.
But anyway, I'm glad you're here and making comments, although I don't remember what you said.
We'll find it.
I love your name. And Shoeless Monk, Stacy. So we're getting lots of comments, and I guess I don't need to just say everyone's name. But
no, but this last one you've got noted here, let's use that as a transition. And wrap this up. But
Carol Hudak,
yep,
who is an artist that knits, and I'm pretty sure she's in Albuquerque. And so we sometimes talk about art things, and like on Instagram, and she watched the Zoom opening that I had with Turner Carroll Gallery, and that we're gonna post that on YouTube,
on our channel. Let's post it on our channel so people can find it easily.
And it's just an art talk thing. It's not, a lot of people aren't going to be interested, I want to be honest, but if you're I was going to say if you're into knitting. So, but
Oh, what's our audience into? I don't know.
I guess I feel like it's real limited compared to an opening and being able to walk around and talk about things. You're sitting there. Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this. Watch the next add-on episode we
Right.
put because we're going to put that art talk.
Right.
And
With you at your opening for Turner Carroll Gallery, where you were here and in Dallas in your studio, and they were they weren't even all in the gallery. They were all like in their own homes in Santa Fe.
Jeffrey was at the gallery
right,
with part of the show set up. We were here with part of the show set up. And then Michael and Tanya were there giving introductions from their home in Albuquerque.
Right.
And then we were getting questions of one of my friends that I'd knit a hat for, Nancy. As I was talking about hats, she said, "Oh, wait a minute." And then all of a sudden she came on screen wearing one of my hats. And
From was that the 2017 Women's March?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And so
Or
it was
2016.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Whatever.
So I guess anyway, people are going to love it.
2017.
Watch it.
Right. Let us know what you think.
So that's
We'll
about
be putting
it.
that out there. That's it.
So we will see you later on in January.
Yep.
We're just a few days late. We're almost to our 2-week schedule, so we'll be putting out another one in January.
And enjoy this music. It's not Rusty
Oh
playing.
yeah, it's not playing yet. I don't know what he's doing.
You should have it overplaying me right now as we're ending up this conversation. Because it's cool, it's hip, and Rusty got it off of an internet site that he subscribed to so that he can have some extra music for our episodes.
Yeah, and I'm not stopping playing the piano, but that was a little extra pressure, and I've been feeling lots of pressure these days.
Right.
So I plan on still learning pieces, and when I do, I'm going to be putting them in the episodes.
So, bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. An hour 22. Bye.